And you shared with me a story.
Oh, bro.
Last week. And I know we were scheduling to talk about it today because it's just hilarious.
It's okay. First of all, I have total empathy for the parent in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably really distressing. But because it's unusually switched, it's a little bit hilarious.
Yes.
A little bit funny. I shouldn't say hilarious. It's a very serious situation.
It is.
The mum is very worried.
She's concerned for her child.
But we've got a post from Reddit, from the atheism subreddit, and the title is "My daughter came out to me as a Jesus believer, is attending a young life group at her college, and is getting baptized next week. I feel like a failure and am also terrified for her, but I don't know what to do shy of ordering her not to, which surely won't work."
She feels like she's failed her?
She feels like she's failed
Oh,
her.
honey, no.
Oh, bless her.
No,
Bless
she did
her.
well.
She did well.
Oh.
Okay, I'll read this out. So I was still theist when they were born. They did CCD, which is like a Catholic kids thing, for a while, and several reasons led to my atheism and their being pulled out. My son is 22 now and an atheist, still pretty anti-religion and just a plain, it's obviously nonsense way. I've never quote unquote taught them atheism. Apparently my daughter never really stopped believing, but it's ramped up lately. She's away at school and is now in young life. Her Instagram post hinted at some things, and I texted my son to see if he knew how it evolved. Apparently he basically messaged her and was like, "Dad is concerned, lol." Well, she came to me today and came out fully. She tried to play it off, it's non-denominational, etc., but then said it's really become a focal point and that she's getting baptized. All I could do was reassure her that I didn't think less of her and that my concern was simply her well-being and safety, and that would be the case even if her religious belief didn't exist. But I'm really scared. Young life is a cult and she's going to make a decision that can't be undone, and I can't think of anything to say to her that won't sound like an edict, which will only push her farther in. So I sit here scared, hoping it passes and trying to think of anything that may happen that may cause me to believe, may cause me to have to take some kind of stand.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, I lost it when it was like, I will still love you regardless, kind of.
I know.
Trudy,
Bless her cotton
like she's got some life-altering addiction or something like that. Oh my gosh. Like the way that she's written it is like,
it's like a coming out story, but like instead of being gay, she's Christian. I'm wheezing. Oh,
I don't know how to. I need a minute. I need a minute.
We'll get back to this.
Yes, we'll go. We've got a couple of songs to play, and we'll come back and we will discuss this a little bit further. You're on V180. That is Chris Llewellyn with Honest here on V180. You're with Leah and Grace, one half of the girls upstairs.
Hello.
And we've embarked on a bit of an interesting discussion today. About one that's, I don't know, it's funny because it's been flipped.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's the humor of it. It's like something that isn't normally like that is like that. So pretty much, if you didn't hear us last break, we've been talking about a Reddit post in the atheism subreddit where a mum is lamenting that her daughter has come out to her now as a Christian. And so what to do? She's asking all the atheists, what do I do?
Yes.
Now that my daughter is a Christian.
And she's hoping it's some kind of phase, but she still loves her.
Yep.
Because she's her daughter, but she's hoping it just sort of moves on, or calling her husband and her other son because they're worried about her and la la la.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's interesting seeing it from the other end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And I totally understand the mum's concern.
Yeah.
Like looking from the comments, it sounds like she hasn't had a great upbringing in the church at all.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand that fear. But at the same time, it's like, this is something that your daughter, who is an adult, has willingly entered into and looked into and is going through. And so,
and she's obviously found peace. She's willing to be baptized.
Yes.
And she's found peace in knowing who she is in Christ, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So like on one hand, as you said, yes, can absolutely understand the mum's concerns, who has obviously had some kind of tricky
bad background,
or has had some bad experiences either with the church or with faith or with whatever. We don't know her backstory. Yeah. But and I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a tricky one for me because I grew up in the church.
Yes.
I grew up Christian parents.
Yeah.
So I'd never really fully understood that part of that kind of having that kind of experience.
Yeah.
Growing up with a non-believing family.
Yeah.
And like my heart bleeds for like the daughter as well.
Yeah.
That's
a scary thing.
How scary would that have been, knowing how against that her parents would be of her newfound faith?
Yeah.
That would have been so scary.
Yeah.
Aww.
What's interesting, I think is really interesting, is all the comments from the atheists kind of just giving advice on what to do to like get her out of this phase.
Yes.
Of course, it's like definitely don't forbid it because then they'll feel persecuted. But a lot of it is simple challenges to the faith that I think every Christian needs to be ready for.
Right.
So stuff like, okay, you're in the little life group, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them how do they treat kids that are openly gay? Like, what's that going to be like? That whole classic challenge of, oh, well, how do you treat people who are gay or transgender?
Yeah.
That's a common one that people will try to use against your faith.
Absolutely.
A lot of them are just reassuring her that it's probably just a phase.
Yeah.
And that really speaks to the need of like finding a good church community that is solid, biblical, and getting good Christian friends that will consistently call you out in your faith and that you can walk life together. Like, Christianity is not a life to be lived alone per
no
se.
way, yeah.
And so my advice to this girl is keep going, be honest, be kind to your family. Your faith will show through your actions most strongly. Find a good church, get into a good church, and just be prepared for the challenges that are coming ahead.
That's right. Absolutely. Get into the word and just surround yourself with people that love God and are able to keep you accountable as well. And surrounding yourself in a good, faith-filled community that can do those things is absolutely vital to any Christian in their walk. And there's no doubt that it would be so hard having a family that doesn't quite see what you see. Yeah. That would be so tricky. And so my heart goes out. And I'll be keeping her in my prayers, that's for sure.
Yes, we'll be praying for you, homie.
Absolutely.
All the best. I'm looking forward to seeing what God does in your family. Yes,
absolutely. And maybe if you're in a situation like that yourself, know that you're not alone. Yeah. Absolutely. You're not alone. And we're always here to chat as well. Flick us a message on the socials. Grace is the one that answers those messages.
Hello.
She'll hype you up no matter what you need. So what are our socials? V180 official?
Yeah, V180 official or just V180. Pretty much you can find us there.
Anyway we go. All right, well, let's get back into it now. We got Hannah, Honey, Love You, Need You coming up next on V180.
Vision 180.
Live different.
Different.